Hey everyone, happy Monday. Might as well go live a little bit early on this wonderfully beautiful day. At least in Toronto. It is easily, I'd probably say pushing 30 with the humid X. I'm going to double check on that because I don't come prepared to these things. Get rid of the ad. So right now, it is 80 degrees in freedom units, and I have changed my settings on my phone to Fahrenheit to fit in with everybody else that watches. So right now we're at 27 degrees Celsius and feeling about 30 degrees. So yeah, so beautiful weather as we've kind of already established. I love heat and humidity, so this is wonderful. I've been sitting outside all day and just having beer and water and kind of just chilling out and enjoying the sun. Got a little bit toasty, not gonna lie, a little toasty. I didn't put any sunscreen on, and I didn't put any sunscreen on yesterday. And yesterday I went for a really really long bike ride, so my nose, I don't know if you guys can tell very very well, but it's kind of like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer nose. It is very toasted. And again today I forgot to put on sunscreen. I forgot to even buy sunscreen. I realized it just after lunch. I was like, I should probably wear sunscreen. Got up, went down to the Shoppers Drug Mart, got some sunscreen, bought it. Still haven't put any on. I went right back outside, grabbed another beer, sat in the sun, like the dummy that I am. But that's just how I roll. So yeah, Jeffrey, 69. Nice. Yeah. So this is day number 69 that I have been locked down, not not working normally. I was working from home for the first couple of weeks of lockdown, but since April 6th, I have been out of work, furloughed as the majority of people have, unfortunately. But yes, day number 69 and tehe, 69 tehe. It is it's weird and it's kind of odd. I don't know how much I've talked about how I've been handling being locked in. I'm a natural introvert. I don't know if you guys even could tell, but some people are kind of weirded out when I tell them like I'm naturally introverted, and people are like, oh, what? Yeah, I'm naturally introverted, and this whole situation, me being locked in at home, would have been a dream for me like 10, 15 years ago. Now it's starting to get to the point where it's like I'm ready to go back into the world and interact with human beings on a much more regular basis. And I was telling my roommate the other day, it's not having the option to do stuff, right? Like if I decided to stay at home, but there was stuff to do out there, I would feel better about the situation. But because like I'm home and I think about it, like I could really go for just some wings at my favorite pub. I don't have that. No one has that option anymore. So it's more the options being taken away from you is worse than anything else, in my opinion, I think. But anyways, John Belushi, what's going on, buddy? Trying to be sunny here. What did I buy? What did I buy? I bought sunscreen lotion earlier. Would you like to do some co-op/commission-based web work? No, John. Not huge on commission-based stuff. I used to work, well, long-term goal is to continue to work in men's fashion, but I worked men's fashion for a number of years, partially in a commission environment. And I'm not about that. I'm not a hard seller. I'm too honest and forgiving to be on commission. If it's commission sales, but yeah, and then sometimes like having a deadline and stuff like that. I'm not huge on it right now. It's okay because the government's helping out. A little bit more, I think, in Canada than in the States. But yeah, it's not terrible, and my job is secured for the most part, it seems. So whenever we get back to work, we'll have something to return to. So so everybody, there's 4 people watching. What's up is, if you are, list off what you're drinking, even if it's just water. Love to know what everyone's doing. I'm drinking my new favorite easy cocktail. It's gin. It's equal parts gin and Campari, and a nice splash of Saint Germain liqueur, and 1 ice cube, just for that extra little bit of chill. And yeah, so that's what's going on. Let me pop in the StreamYard link. If anyone wants to pop in, you're more than welcome to. John's drinking Colonel Taylor Small Batch. Oh, I can't remember if that's my favorite one or if it was the single barrel that I enjoyed more. Because I had the small batch and the single barrel at one point. Samples, mind you. But I can't remember now which one was better. I did do reviews on them, and I think there was a joint review. I think I did both of them at the same time. I'd have to go back and double check, actually, which I think I could probably do right about now. But yeah, I did do a review. This is a review channel. Believe it or not, we used to do reviews, and since about August, September, we haven't done very much of anything besides live streams, which is, a bit more up our alley, because there are so many other amazing review channels out there that, might as well leave it to the professionals. But let's see. Taylor, I'm searching up our channel right now. So I did do it. I did E.H. Taylor, American Bottled and Bond, Single Barrel, and the Small Batch. And what I'll do actually is I will pop in the link for that for anybody that is interested in watching some of my older reviews. It's kind of cringy a little bit for me to go back and watch them, just because I was fairly inexperienced at public talking, especially just to a camera, and talking to nobody essentially, and then having to go back and edit. Kind of funny, but yeah. Scotty Swing, what's going on, buddy? So here's some interesting news. If you guys weren't aware, John's asking, mod me out, Italian, bro. Oh, you're Italian too? Wouldn't have guessed with the last name. So Redbreast had announced a couple of weeks ago that they were releasing a 28-year-old Ruby, I believe Ruby Port matured whiskey. Another one of the Dream Cask bottlings, which, if you've never had a Redbreast Dream Cask and you ever happen to come upon the opportunity to even have a taste of it, take it. Don't even question. Just be like, absolutely, I will try some of that Redbreast Dream Cask, regardless of what it is. So they announced a couple of weeks ago that they were going to be releasing it. Today, the ballot went out. So prior to this one, they would essentially put up for sale, and then you just buy it and it would sell out. And so what they did this time is that they put out a ballot. So you register, and then you may get picked, you might not get picked. And what a bunch of us in my small whiskey group did was we we all put in our names for the ballot. And essentially, if one of us gets it, we would most likely end up splitting the bottle amongst all of us. If multiple of us won it, then we would have potentially a couple of bottles between all of us to share. So if you haven't already, don't go don't go and register. I've realized that now this is counterproductive to our wanting a more better chance of us getting the those bottles in our hands by kind of like telling everyone, oh yeah, go. But yeah, I mean, go, but hopefully it comes to us. And yeah. John, I did make fun of your body family. I was just making fun light because you said Italian, bro. So I was just like, yeah, your last name. Lefroy or Ardbeg? See, that's a tough question. So Lefroy Quarter Cask was the whiskey that that made me fall in love with whiskey. It set me down my journey to all of this craziness that I'm involved with now. And so I always have a soft spot for Lefroy. Now, are there weak spots in their core lineup? I would probably say so. I find their 10-year-old to be lackluster. Their 10-year-old cask strength, which isn't available in Canada ever, is phenomenal. But their baseline 10-year is underwhelming. Their quarter cask is obviously phenomenal. The majority of their Cartridge releases have been great. And then like their older expressions, they're much older, like 25, 30 are wonderful. But like the mid-range stuff is kind of, it's good, but it's like, yeah, it's drinkable, but I wouldn't buy it. Now, Ardbeg, on the other hand, is pretty consistent across their entire core range, plus some of their like how should I put it? Because they're not really limited releases, but like they're sort of yearly releases, like the drum. What was the year before? The groove. Forget this year's. Oh no, sorry, this year's getting released on Ardbeg Day. But yeah, so like Ardbeg is pretty consistent across everything. So they're definitely, I think, superior in that regard, but Lefroy has some standout individual pieces across their line. So yeah, that's what I would say. Between the two, I don't want to pick sides, but they're good for certain things in each respect. Golf courses are open. That's wonderful. Yeah, that's right. I forgot to mention golf courses are starting to open, which is great. I'm a terrible avid golfer, so anyone in the GTA that wants to get together for a round, let me know. John's asking what my favorite daily 12 or 15-year scotch. Are you asking year, like 12-year or 15-year scotch? If it's the year, then I don't find myself drinking scotch daily. And here's why. Scotch in Toronto, good scotch in Toronto is typically fairly expensive. So I find myself drinking Irish and bourbon more daily than scotch. Scotch I typically save for Thursday nights or like a semi special, not even special, just like I feel like treating myself. So something you have on hand. Okay, so the majority of 12-year-olds tend to be more Highland and Speyside, and Highland Park. A lot of Isla stuff tends to be more 10-year. If I had to pick a 12-year-old to have all the time, it would be Bunnahabhain 12. Bunnahabhain 12 would be my daily Scotch drinker at 12 years old. I just don't think there's anything wrong with that bottle. I think it's just absolute perfection. So that would be my pick. And I don't have any 12-year-old Scotch on hand right now, unless there's a sample somewhere. But yeah, I don't have any 12. Oh, no, sorry. I do have a 12-year-old. It's the Lagavulin 12, the 2017 year edition. But that's not even close to being daily drinker. That is a special occasion drinker. I might have a little pour of that once a month. Yeah, I would say Bunnahabhain 12 if it was a bit more affordable, that would be my everyday drinker. Glenfarclas 12. Here's the thing: is there's nothing wrong with Highland whiskey, but my wheelhouse is more Isla based. So if there's a little bit of peat, a little bit of smokiness in there, it definitely ranks higher for me as a more of a go-to thing. Glenfarclas 12 is delicious, but I would definitely pick an Isla almost all the time over most other scotches. Lagavulin 16, a buy. Depends on the price, John. Where are you again? I always forget. If you're in Toronto, it's not a buy. Absolutely not. Not at the price point over here. I think it's now $135 or $140 for Lagavulin 16. And you get more. Oh yeah, Maine. That's right. Compass Box. Here's the thing: is that I don't want to come off as a Compass Box fanboy by saying this, but Compass Box hasn't, besides I believe it's a Spaniard. I believe that's what that expression was called. Now I haven't had the Tobias and Angel, so I haven't had two of the two of the releases out of the past couple of years. But I haven't had a Compass Box that I didn't dislike. Even their base Great Glasgow Street Blend is phenomenal. Now at the same time, the phenomenology is great, the Flaming Heart's great. So again, it always comes back to price point for me. $87. No, I don't know if I'd spend $87 for the Lagavulin 16. If it was closer to $60 US, yeah, I'd highly consider it for 16, but 87 is kind of pushing it for me. It's good, refined, and delicious, but it's not. I don't think it's worth that amount. Even if you were to convert that. Hey Siri, what's $87 US in Canadian?
80.
So yeah, it's actually still a little bit cheaper than it is in Toronto right now, but I still probably, even if I were to do the straight conversion of $120 Canadian for Lagavulin 16, I probably wouldn't buy it still. It's tough for me to justify spending over $100 on a core range whiskey. The only whiskeys recently that I've purchased for over $100 have been independent bottlings, and that's really the only time now that I think I will spend over 100 Canadian dollars on a whiskey, is if it's an independent bottling, unless it's something that really has me intrigued. whether it be the finish or a random age statement or something like that. So, John, when you say underwhelming, are you kind of asking about my opinion on Lagavulin 16? Because it's not underwhelming unless you take the price into consideration. I don't think it's worth that the price point that it's at. I much prefer actually the 8-year because it reminds me much more of the typical Isla profile that I like, which is heavy and punchy. So Lagavulin 16 is still Scotty's favorite, so he'd buy it. And that's where a lot of subjectivity comes into play as well, right? And which is exactly kind of what I just kind of said. Is like I like the eight just a little bit more because it's much more peaty and punchy, less refined. When I say refined, like a little more round, not as spiky, right? So, but for me, I wouldn't. Let me make sure because I'm almost positive that Lagavulin 16 is like pushing to 140 in Toronto now. Excuse my side. What does Scotty say? Lagavulin 16 is my QC though, the one that changed. Oh, okay, so yeah, so Scotty. So what I was saying before about how Lagavulin Lefroy Quarter Cask was my intro to whiskey. Scotty's was Lagavulin 16, so it was his game changer. So he'd always end up he'd always buy it, just like I'd always buy Quarter Cask. So it makes sense, Scotty. Hey, Scotty, how's the baby? How's baby Brady? I can't believe it. Oh, and how do you? I haven't even asked you. How do you feel about Tom Brady leaving your precious Patriots? Tom Brady leaving the Patriots is just lovely. Now, Scotty, are you going to be a Tampa Bay fan now, or are you going to stick with the Pats? And what if the Pats and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers meet in the Super Bowl? Who are you going to root for? I wonder, who are you going to root for? Brady or your beloved Pats? Okay, you know what? I respect you a little bit more, Scotty, that you'll stick by the Pats even without Brady. So you just scored some points in my book, Scotty. I thought you were just a Brady loving, no near do well. But you're indeed a fan of the Patriots. I always want to say Patriots for some reason, and I don't understand where it came from, but it is a thing that I tend to say now. So yeah, once again, there's the link for the StreamYard if anyone's around and wants to hang out. You don't have to sign up for an account or anything. Click it; it'll bring you to your web browser, whatever you're on, and just pick a name and hit enter. So, Eagle Rare 10. Yes, I do enjoy Eagle Rare 10. Now, I haven't had a bottle of that in quite some time, but I have a lot of memories with Eagle Rare 10, a lot of positive and good memories with some friends down in Vegas. So it'll always be near my heart. Now, out of the Buffalo Trace products, The fairly readily available stuff, 100% Eagle Rare 10 is my favorite. Over Buffalo Trace, over any of the Wellers, Blantons. Definitely way better, in my opinion, much more enjoyable than any Blantons that I've had. Minus the straight from the barrel. I've had the Blanton straight from the barrel, and that was really good. But I think it's only available out in Europe or something. So to fly out, grab one, bring it back, or even have it shipped over, it's not worth it. Eagle Rare 10 all day. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite, my favorites out of Buffalo Trace. Yeah, I like John. Makes me talk about whiskey and stuff with his questions. Keep them coming, John. And yes, Eagle Rare 10 is one of my faces. It's one of my favorites, yeah. Out of I should do this. I should do a top 10 or top 20 rememberable whiskeys. It's definitely my top 20 whiskeys. I'd have to say, yeah. In the bourbon category. In bourbon category, it's probably in my top. Definitely my top 10, maybe my top 5. Yeah, John, I've done a couple distillery tours. I've done a couple in Canada. The majority of what I've done distillery-wise has been in Texas. So, and out of the ones that I've done, Iron Root is probably my favorite. Iron Root Republic. Let me put my fancy dandy hat on. Yeah, Iron Root is definitely one of probably top 3 distilleries, I think, for what I like, what they stand, not what they stand for, what they intend to do with all of their releases. The thought and the intent behind everything is always fantastic, and they're always trying to experiment a little bit, which is awesome, and that's kind of what you want in a lot of distilleries. Scotty, oh, fuck's sakes. Hold on, I'll be right back, guys. So, Whiskey in the Six hat. That is Rob, who lives just north of me in Toronto. If you don't already follow Rob from Whiskey in the Six, definitely go give him some love. Send him Vito sent you. Scotty bought a hat from him, and because he lives a couple hours, like an hour and a half or so west of me, he was like, "Oh, can you pick up the hat that I bought?" So I picked it up, like a year ago? And I haven't seen Scotty since, and I still have the hat. Scotty, I got to try and get out there. Maybe on like a rainy day where like nothing's happening, I'll like just take a drive out, visit. Actually, perfect opportunity. So our black adders are supposed to be coming in this week. So when Dave gets the black adders, I'll make a point to go pick up the black adder, swing out to Hamilton for you, and then maybe swing by Silver Fox afterwards. So at some point this week, Scotty, you'll get the hat. I promise you will get the hat. Okay, perfect, Scotty. So let's we'll arrange it. We'll arrange a pickup, and maybe we'll have like a small little dram with each other. Yeah. Or I could drop it off. Scotty, whatever you want, brother. I'll do whatever you want me to do. Anything on episode 69 on cast strength. Take it easy, Scotty. We'll talk soon. We'll figure it out. So Super Social Club sent John a crazy sample. Cool. Yeah, Jeremy has some crazy bottlings. Rob too. Those guys are good for that. They really hunt down some of the harder to get bottles and somehow get their hands on it in Canada, which is ridiculous. But yeah, if you ever want to know some ridiculous bottles, they're the channels to follow. We're just here for a hangout and a good time. Glengoyne 30. Oh yeah, I think that Glengoyne 30. I think that was I had a Glengoyne 30 at Rob's place, so I think it went from Rob to Jeremy or vice versa. But yeah, amazing. Glengoyne is one of my favorite distilleries. I haven't had anything from them that I did not find enjoyable. I have a Glengoyne 21 right there. Now, I have it there strictly as a showpiece, and because it was such an amazing bottle, so malty and cereally and Christmas spices and rich mouthfeel. It was great. So, yeah, Glengoyne, can't go wrong with Glengoyne. And yeah, so what else is going on, guys? I mean, John's pretty much taking over the chat, which is great. Always good to have someone to kind of talk to, even if it's just text to vocals and whatnot, not like a shared video thing. John, if you want to get on here on video, let me know. But yeah, so what have I been watching? I'm still trying to get through Dairy Girls, and it's not that it's a struggle. It's just like the last couple of days have been such nice weather that I've been outside the majority of the time. So I haven't found myself in front of the TV as often. Even today, to do this happy hour, I was debating whether or not to do it because it's such nice weather that I was like, maybe I'll go for another bike ride, or maybe I'll go for a walk, or maybe I'll just continue to sit outside and be just lazy as fuck. But yeah, just so nice weather that it had to, I've just been not watching very much things. So Dairy Girls is still I'm still getting through it. I think I have 1 or 2 episodes left before the season 2 ending, which is the season finale. Obviously, fucking I'm such an idiot. And season 3 hasn't been greenlit yet, I don't think, but hopefully they continue it. Dairy Girls on Netflix is an amazing Irish comedy on Netflix. Go watch it. You won't be disappointed. Anime wise, I'm watching Bleach. I'm rewatching Bleach, but not the entire series. I've found a website that filters out the filler. So filler in anime, which is Japanese animation cartooning, is episodes that are not part of the original canon, that being the original serialization of the manga or comic book or graphic novel. So what happens is you have the manga, and then animation studio will start to animate it. Well, if they catch up to the animation, to the manga, what will happen is that they'll start taking liberties in terms of what episodes get added and storylines. So they'll add in an entire story arc. Let's say if there's a long lull in the manga, or they'll add an episode of just random story that doesn't fit into very much of anything, but just so that they are able to release an episode on that day. So Bleach is notorious for having an immense amount of filler. About 45% of the episodes released are filler. So out of the 366 total episodes, I believe there's 120 or 130. No, sorry, there's more. So half of 360 is 180. So about 160, 150 episodes of filler. So you can almost half that. So I've never watched it start to finish without the filler involved. So I'm watching it without any filler, which is way better. The story flows so much cleaner. It's unbelievable. So yeah, so if you ever want to watch anime and you don't want to spend a lot of time, there are a lot of anime that have a lot of filler. So your best bet is to take a look at an online guide as to how to watch blank anime without filler, and it'll give you the breakdown of what episodes are filler or not. So I'm not going to talk about anime very much longer because I know people are kind of, anime. Yes, I'm a big anime fan, but I don't want to bore people. Peter White joined the chat. What's up, buddy? Missed the start. What's up? Don't worry, man. You didn't really miss much, man. You never miss much here. So glad you could stop in for a little bit eventually. Steve Puffs and Drams, he just finished work. About to pour a beer or whiskey. Steve, I'm going to say pour a beer. A beer on a nice hot day, or even a cocktail, I think is clutch. Even just an old fashioned would be great. John watched Joker last night. Amazing movie. Fantastic. Great. Just I can't say anything more than just a great, solid movie. Peters is broiling hot in Hamilton. Yeah, man. I love this weather, Peter. So like this is great for me. Great for me. So we got a couple more people in watching now. So I've been posting the link a couple times. If you guys are more than welcome to hit that link and join in on the video call, be more than happy to put you guys on and kind of have a nice face-to-face conversation. No, John, I don't know Daniel from the Whiskey Throttle, other than sort of like watching some of his videos. Haven't had a chance to or the opportunity yet to kind of interact with him. I know he's on Swami's channel, Malta de Montreal, somewhat often, and some of the European stuff, the European channels. But yeah, I haven't had the privilege of speaking with him yet. Let's see what's going on here. And yeah, so that's what's going on so far. So I kind of alluded to it yesterday. I don't know if anybody else is into it, but I went for a bike ride yesterday for the first time in probably 10 years. Pretty much like I used to be fairly active on a bike. Like that's how the main mode of transportation was when I was a kid. And then once I got my car, I pretty much kind of gave up on my bike, which, I mean, luckily my genes are great and I don't have to do much to stay relatively tiny. I don't gain weight easily, if at all. So like that's decent, but it definitely the lull of not biking definitely put a hurting on my cardio and everything like that. So anyways, so now that I've moved downtown and I don't have ready access to my car just because it's parked a little bit of ways away at my grandmother's house, just to save on parking at our building. I decided I was gonna go get my bike from back when at my parents' place and see if the tires inflated and if the brakes are working. Luckily, the tires inflated, brakes are working. I don't have to spend any more money. Brought the bike down here. So yesterday, I had the bright idea of biking downtown Toronto, meeting up with my friend and her boyfriend, going on a bike ride through a trail down to the Tommy Lighthouse, which is out really far out in Lake Ontario. There's a bunch of like segregated islands that are connected by bridges that you ride around in. And then I biked back 60 kilometers. A 60-kilometer bike ride that without having biked in probably easily a decade. Needless to say that my ass was on fire because the seat is not comfortable and I have no weight. So like it's just bone on seat. That hurt. My hands hurt. And obviously my legs are in a lot of pain today. So what I did was I went on Amazon. I bought some, I didn't even know these existed, but I was told yesterday by my friend, padded shorts for biking. So there's like gel pads in your shorts to absorb the shock and the pain of sitting on that seat for such a long time. So I bought those. I bought gloves because also like just if you bike for that long, your hands are going to hurt, especially right in the palms where you're grasping the handlebar. So about that, the shorts, and a phone mount so that I can like, keep track with stuff, change music and whatnot. So yeah, if you guys are into biking and haven't been biking during all of this, I highly recommend it. It was nice because I was out from about 11:30 in the morning yesterday, and I got back home probably around 6:30 or so, with a couple of stops in between. Obviously, you can't bike that entire time. Like I stopped for about half an hour and maybe an hour. So maybe about an hour and a half of that time I was stopped. But yeah, it was ridiculous. And yeah, like John said, walking is great. He did a 3.5 mile hike yesterday. Prior to yesterday, I had been doing a lot of walking. Walking through, like my building is right next to next to the Humber River in Toronto, which extends pretty much from up where I used to live, up in like Kleinburg and Vaughan area, probably even further north than that, all the way pretty much down to the lakeshore. So it's a great walk. I walked the other day, I think it was Thursday or Friday. I walked from here down to Bloor Street, which is about a 2-hour walk, and then took the subway across the east end of Toronto, did a little bit of walking around there, then transited back. But yeah, walking was great. I do enjoy biking a little bit more because you see more things in less time. And I'm a very impatient person. So, yeah, biking is definitely my choice over walking. And, but either way, you're getting outside and enjoying the weather and getting fresh air and being active. So it's always a plus. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what we're planning this week on the channel. So again, we have today's stream, then another happy hour Wednesday and Friday. Thursday night, we're going to be doing whiskey and what did I call it? I called it something kind of silly. Let me see. Whiskey. The title is going to be Whiskey, in brackets, whiskey and in brackets, delicious treats. So we're just going to be drinking whiskey and having delicious treats on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. That could include ice cream. That could include brownies. That could include candy. That could include chips. Delicious treats is the theme of the night with whiskey. So if you guys are interested, Thursday night, join us. So Steve says that walking's boring as hiking is awesome. But yeah, walking's brutal. Biking is a little bit more fun. I definitely, like I said, we both agree on that. Peter, take a walk down to the. Maybe I'll do if the weather holds up tomorrow. I might go out for another bike ride, and maybe I'll hit up Front and Spadina. It's only probably going to be about a 40-minute bike ride there, so could happen. So we'll see. It'll be interesting though, bringing the bottle of whiskey back in a small little cross bag, but we'll see what we can do it. Steve, I don't know if we're gonna be doing a Patreon. There was talks about maybe doing it, but I don't know. I feel like everybody's doing Patreon, and there's not much that we can additionally offer. So I don't know if it's really worth it for anybody to kind of like throw us money for doing what we do. We'd rather everybody kind of just come in and join us for our lives and have a good time and just kind of hang out and be silly with each other than anybody do kind of stuff like that. So Steve, I get it. You want to support. Honestly, best support is just kind of like spread the news around and get people to kind of like, more so you, but if you want to like spread what we're doing, we're not looking for super chats and Patreon stuff. Come in, hang out with us, just have a good time, really chill. The point of this channel when we first launched it was just to kind of like have fun as like it's just a hobby. So you want to support us, just continue to watch, participate in the chat. Man, that's all we really ask. We appreciate everyone kind of like, the people that come in and watch us. So don't worry too much about supporting that way. Support by just coming in and hanging out with us. That means more to us than anything. John saying THC infused candy. So what I'll be dipping into Thursday is some marijuana Timbits. I haven't had these ones yet. My friend makes them. So I don't know how strong they are. So we'll see Thursday night just how strong they are. Should be interesting. Should be fun. It will be fun. And as fun as the main Cast Strength Live is going to be, the After Dark is going to be absolutely ridiculous if these are indeed pretty strong, because I will be flying higher than a kite. Hold on. There's who was it? It was Bert Kreischer in his last special. It was his last special where he's like, I'm higher than Moby Dick. Yeah, that was it. I'm higher than Moby Dick. Because when you think about it, Moby Dick in the ocean is pretty high when he's like near the top of the ocean, because there's like nothing besides water from him to the ocean floor. So he's fucking high as shit when you think of it that way. So yeah, I'm going to be, if they're strong, I'm going to be higher than Moby Dick. And yeah. So what else? 10 more minutes. I'm going to pop in the StreamYard link one more time. We have another 10 or so minutes of just Vito speaking. If anyone wants to come in and elongate that time, be more than happy to invite you guys on. But otherwise, I think I may call it a day at an hour today, if no one else wants to come on, just so that not taking up too much of everyone's time, and we can all kind of go outside and enjoy the rest of the beautiful day. Because there's not very many clouds in the sky right now, at least where I am in Toronto. And it's actually getting close to dinner time. Yeah, it's about 5 o'clock. So those with families or those that are just hungry at this time need to get cooking. So just trying to think of something else to kind of take up the rest of the time, just so that, when you look at the happy hour that ends at 55 minutes and you're like, well, it was supposed to be an hour long. At least I could say that it was an hour long. Peter, God damn it. Hold on. Let me find the, let me see if I can find the specific clip. Bert. Oh, wow. There's a transcript of... Okay, so... oh, fuck. I'm so high. I'm higher than Senator Socks. Anyway, my point is, it's 2 a.m. She opens the door. I'm higher than Moby Dick. Let me see it, actually. Oh, it doesn't expand on that. It misses the explanation. Okay, so what's going to do... No, higher than Moby's dick. No. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the clip from Netflix and show it on Wednesday's stream. And I'll wait Wednesday, Peter and Steve, for you guys to both be on at the same time before I show it. No. He was talking about literally the whale Moby Dick. I'll pull the clip. It'll be funny. I can't retell jokes because I stink at them, but it makes so much more sense when he does it, because he's obviously a professional and I'm nothing. So yeah. So we'll reconvene on Wednesday to discuss being higher than Moby Dick. So this almost lasted me the full hour, and I took I could have taken a small sip and saved the rest to cheers everybody with, but I was greedy, and now there's none. But like a true professional on YouTube, I came somewhat prepared with a bottle of whiskey, some Kilbeggan single grain, to pour just a little pour so that I can cheers everybody. And yeah, so we'll leave that sitting for another about 5 minutes. And then at that point, I will probably be closed down. What is pink and lays on the bottom of the ocean? Moby stick. Amazing. Oh my god, that's great. Jeffrey Patron! Yes, professional. We are the original professional YouTube whiskey channel. This Irish is more sweet than I remember it being. I think it's because I was overloaded with bitterness with this cocktail that everything sweet is more sweet. Very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, so Jeffrey, you dipped in a bit to edit a video. Oh, that's right. Jeffrey Patron has a YouTube channel. So Jeffrey, put the link in. Actually, I could probably do it. If you guys want a cool channel to follow, I'm going to post it in right now. So if you guys want to go follow that channel, that is Jeffrey Patron's channel. Puts a lot of work into it. Go follow him. Oh wait, why did it only post to Facebook? Oh no, there it goes. I just didn't scroll down because I don't know technology. Should I just like scat for the next 3 minutes? Take up some time. Jeffrey, you're too kind. Cast strength is one day we'll get back to doing whiskey reviews. I think what we'll do. Okay, so here's my promise. I have a bottle of Blackadder 13-year-old Bunnahabhain Moyne raw cask on its way. I will do a review of that. And I will do the review to end all reviews. I will sit down, make notes, create a what's it called? Like a storyboard. I will make it as proper as possible, do all of my research beforehand, and really make a professional whiskey review on that bottle. You said it. I said it now. 5 people heard me and saw me say that. So we'll see if that actually comes to fruition. But we will have to wait. I think I'm going to be getting that bottle either tomorrow or Wednesday, which means probably I'll be able to do a review on the weekend, which means I'll be able to edit it by next week at some point. So we'll see what happens next week in terms of a potential review coming out of this channel. We'll see. Hey, Greg, you come in the last minute. Hope you had a good day at work, bud. So we're gonna wind down. 59 minutes and 1, 2, 3 seconds. So yeah. So again, for everyone watching live on the replay, Thursday night we're going to be doing whiskey and delicious treats. Then we have the After Dark episode right after Thursday night at 10. So Cast Strength Live, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Cast Strength After Dark, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. The happy hour on Wednesday is on track still for 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And then Friday, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And yeah, so thanks for everyone for watching. Hope you had a good time as well. I know I did. It's always good to drink alcohols and talk with people in the chat and catch up. Until next time, stay classy, everyone. Cheers.